Most people think a great midfielder needs a powerful shot, pinpoint passing, great dribbling, a perfect first touch, and hones. That's exact. What most fans notice. Summit S, even co, as and scouts. But if I tell you that the world's best midfielders stand out because of something. C, not B use. They shoot harder, not B. Ors, they're faster. And Ni, even because of the R technique, their biggest weapon is football IQ. At what I'm for? Football IQ, a lot of PO. You think it's me thing you're born with. It isn't. Football IQ is the ability to make the right decision before the ball even reaches your feet. And today, I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm going to prove it using real match footage. We'll break down Pedri's game, and I'll show who exactly his football Q makes one of the best midfields in the world today. And at the end of this I'll show a simple day that you can say at your very next training session. On to start, Bill. This habit yourself. Let's get started. When people talk about Dry, they rarely mean Ion, his speed, his strength, or his shot. He's not the fastest player. He doesn't have the most powerful shot, and he is the kind of play who tried to dribble past everyone on the pitch. So to was almost every Dr. Men of Havgi, a midfielder like Ped. What's so spectacular about it? The answers is hid none in the tiny details that most vets never even notice. And once you see them, you'll never one foot the same way again. Now watch this clip. Pedri received the ball with several closing him down. Just a second later, he escapes the pressure like it's nothing and plays a simple, accurate pass. But this Tim, I don't want you to watch the ball. Don't what? The pass, don't weigh. H, the move. Watch. Only Pedri. Forget everything else. Focus only on him. I'll give you a few seconds. Try to figure out what he did better than everyone else before he even touched the ball, because that's where the real answer is hiding. Most people probably watched his first touch, but that's not the most important part. The most important part happened before his first touch. Now, look carefully at Pedri's head. Do you see it? He's constantly scanning the space around him. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, less than 10 seconds, 3 scans before he even receives the ball. And that's exactly why everything looks so easy. When the pass arrives, he doesn't need to search for options. He already knows where the space is, where the nearest defender is, where his teammate is. His decision was already made before the ball reached his feet. That's why Pedri almost never loses the ball, even under pressure. While most players start thinking after receiving the ball, Pedri already knows exactly what he's going to do. Maybe you're thinking, okay, but that's just one clip. Fair enough. Let's watch another one. And again, don't watch the ball. Watch only Pedri's head. There it is. Another scan, and another one again. And again, at this point, you can't call it a coincidence. It's a habit, and that habit is exactly what allows him to make decisions faster than almost everyone else. That's why it feels like he always has more time. But here's the truth, he doesn't. He has the exact same amount of time as every other player on the pitch. The difference is that Pedri starts thinking much earlier, long before the ball ever reaches him. But here's the interesting part. If Pedri was the only player doing this, you could say it's just his style. Maybe he's different, but he isn't. Let's look at someone else. Sergio Busquets, one of the greatest defensive midfielders in football history. And once again, forget the ball, watch only his head. I'll give you a few seconds. Count how many times over his shoulder before receiving the ball. 1, 2, there it is again, scanning before his first touch, before the ball even reaches him. Busquets already knows where the pressure is coming from, where the space is, and exactly where his next pass is going. That's why pressing him always looked almost impossible. Not because he was faster, not because he had better technique, but because he already had the information before anyone else. Maybe you're still thinking, okay, but Busquets is a legend. Maybe he's just an exception. Alright, then let's look at Rodri, the BT defensive midfielder in the world today, and once they're in, foe at the ball. Niley, his head, 1, 2, 3, it is. Again, scanning before receiving the ball. Now let's stop. Pedri, Busquets, Rodri, 3 completely different players, different generations, different roles, different styles, but the exact same habit. Do you really think that's a coincidence? Of course not. It's a pattern. The world's best midfielders don't start thinking when they receive the ball. They start thinking long before the pass even reaches them. That's why they always seem to have more time, but they don't. They have the exact same amount of time as everyone else. The only difference is that they use I earlier. That's what football really is. The biggest question, can you actually this skill, or is it something you're born with? The answer is no. You don't have to be born with it. Scan, ink, isn't talent. It's a skill, and like any other skill, it can be trained. I'm going to warn you the exact drill that he had me build this habit. I spent more than 10 years playing as a central midfielder, and out of everything I practiced, this was one of the most valuable habits I ever developed. The exercise is incredibly simple, but if you do consistent, it can completely change the way you read the game. Here's what you'll need: a football, a wall, your phone, and, if possible, a tripod. Place your phone a few meters behind you. Play a video with different colors flashing on the screen. Now, pass the ball against the wall. The moment you make the pass, turn your head, look over your shoulder. Remember the color on your phone, then receive the ball and do it again and again and again. At first, it'll feel strange. You'll forget to look behind you. You'll miss some colors. You'll probably make more mistakes than usual. That's completely normal, because right now you're not training your technique, your train, G, your bruh, none to collect in format, N, Bef, E, receiving the ball, and a completely different skill. Keep doing it week after week, and day you'll notice something interesting. You start looking over your shoulder with even thinking about it. I becomes automatic, and that's a moment. Football starts changing because now you're no longer reacting to the game, you're reading it. Before it happens, before this video ends, I want you to remember one sentence. Most player thin football start when the ball reach their feet. It doesn't. By that mom, it's already too late. The best midfield have already made their decision. They've already scared the space around them. They already know where their teammates are, where the defenders are, and what they're going to do before the first two. That's why they look so calm. That's why they play so fast. And that's why they almost never lose the ball. Football IQ isn't magic. It isn't a gift. It's a collection of habits. And habits can be trained. So the next time you step onto the pitch, don't focus only on your first touch. Focus what happens before it starts scanning. Build the habit T earlier. Because if you only start think G, arf, R, you receive the B, Li, your L re, ye, too late. If this V, EO, change the A, you look at foot, make, ray to subscribe. Because on this Che, Nell, we don't talk about football. We break down real match situations. Wall, prove, Eve, idea, with really mipples, and learn how the world's best slayers actually think. Thanks for watching. I see you in the next name.